So I did a little trip to New York, and I went there to work on a movie called Goose. Yes, it was quite the job. I went there to be a second AD, but then the guy asked me, "Have you worked with Atmosphere before?" And I, thought that was just something in a restaurant. And I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, so I became a PA. So Atmosphere is background or extras or background artists, as they prefer to be known as.
That's right.
It is an art, a dying art, but an art nonetheless. So I was holding an umbrella for Joan Rivers in the pouring rain, and Joan Malinsky, to the Jews out there. And after about a day of that, I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm just gonna party in New York and go home. So, and my first night there was great. I banged this big Irish broad. Her pussy smelled, but it was, it was a nice one-night stand. What? I mean, I'm not in charge of her feminine hygiene. Don't blame me. I'm the victim. So, and I had to, go downtown to get in there. And, I did a lot of weird things before that, too. We were doing Screaming Nazis, which is a shot I've never heard of before or since. And, when you're trying to get laid, you don't ask too many questions. But a Screaming Nazi is I guess, popular with some people there. So anyway, I'm, a few nights later, and, I went out with some people, went out with some other people, and, it was getting late, and they told me about this place called Save the Robots. And, I guess where the Terminators hang out. Save the Robots, and they told me how to get there. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there, and you guys wanna come with me? They're like, no, it's closing time, we're responsible adults. And I'm like, well, fuck you then, I'm going out. It's a city that doesn't sleep, I'm in New York, I'm gonna get laid. So I go to find Save the Robots. At this point, I can't even see straight, and I'm wandering around Alphabet City. It's on Avenue B, between 2nd and 3rd, and I'm wandering around. I find this one apartment building, and I hear music upstairs, and I'm like, this is where the club is, of course, right? So I don't know what the logic was there, but I was wasted, and so I go knocking on the door there, right? I'm knocking on the front of the place. People upstairs are like, shut the fuck up! And I'm bringing all the different apartments because they're all hanging out at this one party, and they're all laughing at me because everyone's in there. And I'm knocking on the window, and then somebody's knocking back at me, and then I'm like, what the fuck? And the guy's just mocking me, and I flash a $1 bill on the window. The guy does the same thing, and then I do a $5 bill, and he does the same thing. I'm like, this fucker's fast. And I realized I was actually fucking with my own reflection. And if that wasn't a hint to call it a night, I was like, oh shit. So I just keep, wandering. I'm like, I look at the cocktail napkin again. I'm gonna find this fucking place. All right. And this guy comes up to me. This guy, Pookie is his name, and he's like, what you want? Rock a powder, rock a powder. I'm like, oh no. I'm gonna find this club and then perhaps do some drugs there. Right on the street. Thank you, kind sir. That would be gauche and uncouth. So I'm wandering around, and actually I come up to this guy who's in front of the club, and he's handing out cards for a club that's open another night. This isn't even open that night. And I come up to him, it's Night of the Living Dead suburbanite, and I actually scared this big guy. It was that was another hint to pack it in. So I finally, I'm like, okay, all right, I gotta find this place, and this guy comes back to me, Pookie, and then he says to me, is that the line?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm only halfway through this thrilling story. Yes, I know you're gonna go to sleep and not be able to sleep, so I'm gonna say thank you, and to be continued, motherfuckers.
Coming back to the show for that, you gotta hear the second part of that story.